Well, I think we did a lot of good things last night, and that was one of those anticipated, probably a tight game, and obviously, disappointed probably that we weren't able to capitalize, and somehow that's what needs to get better. There's no doubt about that. As I mentioned, did a lot of good things. I thought we spent a lot of time in their end. We spent most of the night, I thought, most of the night with the puck, but at the end of the night, we didn't get the results. So that's probably the thing that sticks out the most, and just have to make some adjustments and understand that if we're going to score goals, we got to maybe pay the price a little bit better around the net.
One of the players that you've had that pays the price very strongly over the past is Milan Lucic. Can you evaluate his performance in Game 1?
Well, I think we all know that although we played a decent game, we can all be a little better. I think as a team, we feel we can be a little better, and that's basically it, and that's to a man. And not necessarily just putting all the emphasis on one guy, but no doubt this guy has a big impact on our hockey club, and certainly need him to be at his best.
Claude, you spoke last night to the fact that Carey Price was seeing too many pucks. The practice today, was that in large part to build some net presence?
Well, I think we went through some drills we go through all year long, and we got to be a little better down low and stronger on the puck, and those kind of things, and part of it was that, but also we know that we have to be a little bit more involved, and some of it, net front presence, is not necessarily something you have to practice more than it's a mindset. And if we commit ourselves to going there, we'll get there. And sometimes you have to work through it, because they're doing a pretty good job of boxing us out.
Is there any concern at this time of the year that if you are really cluttering up the blue ice or very close to it, that the officials may take a fairly stern view of that?
You're allowed to be in front as much as you want, as long as you're not in the crease and you're not interfering with the goaltender. So that's something that you see every year in the playoffs. All teams do that. I don't think we're looking to do anything different than any other team, but we need to do it better.
Okay, thanks.
Well, from a tactical standpoint, how do you try to flush out the turnovers, because there were a couple of big ones that led to goals?
Well, obviously the second one was when it really hurt us a lot, but the first one as well, it was a bad reverse, and we didn't get to it as well. So you certainly have to cut down on those mistakes. We know that, but I think they made some of those, and we weren't able to capitalize on them, and that was a big difference.
But what do you say to your team? How do you practice that out? Because it just seems like maybe that's a bit of more of a mindset as well.
No, I think it's a normal thing. I don't think it's as much to practice, more than we have to be a little sharper with our decision making.
Well, with all the talk about discipline, do you think teams held back a little bit last night?
Well, I think, we talk about our team being physical. I think we want to be physical, but it's also can be a challenge when you feel that you've played most of the night with the puck. I mean, we had the puck all night, so and then when they didn't spend that much time in our own end, so our Ds couldn't really get involved that physically. And when we had the puck in our own end, you're not hitting when you're controlling it. So I think that was a bit of a challenge. We still got a fair number of hits, but I think that kind of deflated the physical aspect of our game.
Well, you guys started 0-1 in the playoffs last year. Lesson to be learned from a situation like that.
Yeah, I think that's why they're best out of 7 here. It's one loss here, and it's not the end of the world. But we have to understand that we got to bounce back next game, and that's as simple as that. And in the playoffs, sometimes you have to have a short memory, and you got to be able to turn the page quickly and bounce back and be ready and focused for the next game. That's what we're trying to do.
Anything else, guys?
Well, you mentioned regarding the first line that they have to be better like the rest of your team, but is it also a credit to their top pairing? They also obviously saw a lot of minutes in this game.
Yeah, they did. And obviously Gil is a big defenseman, and he certainly does a pretty good job of boxing out. And obviously Subban's also a very good player, and he's a guy that carries the puck well, and then is very mobile. So he was a good asset for them as well. But you got to give credit where credit is due, and but at the same time you got to look at your team and then find ways to make your team better. And I think our guys have to be a little better and battle through those kind of picks and those situations where they box you out.